Her visceral fat just doubled, and she has no idea. That's not a typo. In fact, that's the average. For a woman somewhere between 38 and 45 doing everything right, her body is quietly shifting where it stores fat. And nobody warns her it's coming. She was eating well, working out, drinking her water, getting her steps in. She had done everything they told her to do. And the belly showed up anyway. Not the kind that comes from one bad week, the kind that moves in, unpacks its bags, and acts like it owns the place. So she went to her doctor.
Your blood work looks normal. Maybe watch your portions. That's just what happens as we get older.
But here's what that doctor didn't know to tell her either, because almost nobody's been taught why this is actually happening. The question is, why was nobody talking about it? So how does a body just decide to do this? Let's rewind. I'm going to explain this the way nobody ever did for me. You're a smart human being, not a medical textbook. Your body runs on hormones. Think of hormones like a group chat. Everyone's talking, everyone's connected, everything is running smoothly. Estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, insulin, all in the chat, all keeping things balanced. But somewhere in your mid to late 30s, sometimes as early as 35, one member of that chat quietly starts going quiet. Estrogen. And here's the question that actually matters. What does estrogen even have to do with where your body stores fat? Because at first you don't think it's hormones. You think it's you. So you cut the carbs, you add the cardio, you start the program, and it works for about 2 weeks. Then the belly comes back. Here's the part nobody put in your life manual. Estrogen doesn't just run your reproductive system. It runs your metabolism. It controls where your body stores fat. It talks to your brain, your gut, your bones, your heart. Estrogen is the manager of your entire operation. And when the manager starts showing up less, the whole office starts running differently, including where your body stores fat. Before perimenopause, your body stores fat fairly evenly. Hips, thighs, the places society has plenty of opinions about. But once estrogen starts declining, your body makes a decision. Protect the energy, store it centrally. And that single redistribution is why visceral fat goes from 5 to 8% of a woman's total body fat to 15, sometimes 20% in the same handful of years. That's not gradual aging. That's a hormonal reassignment happening on a schedule nobody told her about. This is called perimenopause. And before you say, I'm too young for that, perimenopause isn't a moment. Menopause is. Menopause is one single day, 12 months since your last period. Everything before that day is perimenopause. And it can last anywhere from 2 years to 12. 12 years of your body changing while almost no one connects the dots for you. So if this is happening to virtually every woman, why doesn't anyone know about it? That question has an answer, and it's not a comfortable one. For most of modern medical history, research that was funded, designed, and conducted almost entirely by men. Women's health meant one thing: reproductive health. Can she get pregnant? Can she carry a baby? Can she be productive? When women showed up describing fatigue, weight gain, mood changes, brain fog, you know what they were given? Antidepressants, sleeping pills, and sometimes a gentle suggestion that they were just under way too much stress. That idea that hormones could be quietly shifting for a decade before menopause, causing real, measurable changes, was never considered a priority to study. And here's the number that explains everything else. The average medical student receives less than 4 hours of education on menopause in their entire training. And that's why so many women spend years searching for answers, convinced something must be wrong with them. So when your doctor said your blood work looked normal, they weren't lying to you. They were telling you everything they were trained to see. The problem was never your doctor. The problem is what your doctor was never taught and what you were never told until now. So here's where this actually leaves you, not with a diagnosis, with a decision. Because the women who get to the other side of this differently are the ones who stop asking, what's wrong with me? What if nothing is wrong with her? What if her body is responding exactly the way it was designed to? Because the woman who gets answers are usually the ones who ask a more specific question. Not, do I have a hormone problem? But can we actually test my estrogen and progesterone levels, not just the standard panel? If your doctor dismisses that question, that's information too. And the blame you've been carrying starts to fade. Not because your body changed, because you finally understand why. There's something else worth knowing here too. This isn't permanent by default. The women who get the right information, who find the right support, don't describe this chapter as a loss. They describe it as a door. And that's the thing nobody tells you when you walk out of the doctor's office holding a normal result and 100 unanswered questions. You are not the first woman to feel this way. You will not be the last. Your body was never the problem. It was always the messenger. And for the first time, someone is finally reading the message.